Hi, good morning, and welcome to this FS Pro for Word Bootcamp session. I'm Kim. I'm a certified consultant at information mapping, and the purpose of this bootcamp session is, of course, not to make you sweat, but I'd like you to show to you our new version of our FS Pro software and to demonstrate what has changed. Now, as you notice, we no longer talk about FS Pro 2020. We talk about the FS Pro for Word software, and that fits perfectly into our FS Pro suite. As you know, we have FS Pro for Outlook, FS Pro for Confluence. So it all made sense that we changed the name FS Pro 2020 into FS Pro for Word. Now, we at Information Mapping, we're very excited about this new version because we believe that from now on, it's a lot easier and a lot more intuitive to create documents or to use our software to create documents. Now, enough for the introduction, let's work it. So, I'm going to demonstrate you how the new software looks like or how it works. And I'm going to start from the left to the right. Going from the left to the right, as you can see, we still have 6 groups of functions. We still have the start group where you can easily create a new document or start from the template. This group is new. It has been called the headings group, where you immediately can see how to create a section, a chapter, or part. More about that in a few seconds. We have the information mapping group with the most basic functions or features, maps, blocks, reusable units, and the information mapping types. We have the insert group, insert picture, table, table of contents, the formatting group that has slightly changed, where you can format your text, and then the advanced group that has not been changed. So we still have the publishing feature, the custom fields, share custom items, etc. But I'm going to end this bootcamp session with the most important ones from this group, the publish and the custom fields feature. Now let's begin. Creating a new document stays the same thing as in the previous version. You can start from a new document, which I've done already, where you have a map title and 1 block. Or as you know, you can start from a standard template, templates that are built in our FS Pro software. You can easily create or quickly create an agenda, an announcement, etc. Or you can start from your own template. And as you can see in my feature over here, custom templates, I already have 4 templates added in my FS Pro ribbon. Now, how do you add a template in your ribbon? Through the template manager. Now, as you can immediately see, this window has been simplified. Whereas in the previous version, you had 2 tabs. Now we just simplified it into 1 window where you can easily add a template. If I click add, and for example, this is a template that I want to add in my FS Pro ribbon. I just click on open, and as you can see, my template has been added into the list. Now I can decide to immediately insert the template in my document, or I can say I'm going to close it and then see or go through custom templates where you can see that the template has been added to. Deleting a template, also very easy. I'm going to select this template, I delete, and now it has been removed from my list of templates. Now, before I talk about this group, the headings group, I'm first gonna change this map title into, for example, about this bootcamp session. Adding a map, adding a block has not changed, obviously. Adding a map, I just click on map, or I go through the drop-down, new map. Adding a block, I'm gonna change this into, for example, information mapping. Adding a block, same thing, or I click on the symbol or I can go through the drop down, new block label, and here comes my text. Now I have two maps that you already know. Let's say I want to create a section of these two maps. Now we've experienced we had the feedback from customers who said we always forget how to create a section, how to create a chapter, how to create a part. And in the previous version, you had to go through map and then overview map, which was pretty confusing for a lot of customers. Now we decided to make it as visible as possible. And now it's never been easier like this. If you want to create a section, you just go to this group headings and there you have it, section. Now, if I want to create a section, I'm going to put my cursor in my map title. I'm not going to put it over here because otherwise my section will be added underneath this map. So I want to have it above. I'm just going to click or put my cursor over here. I'm going to section, the drop down, and now I have two choices from now on. Either I'm going to add just a section title, which I'm going to do right now, section title. Can change it into FS Pro Bootcamp. And as you will see, I have a section title and I have my two maps without the typical overview map. That's one solution. Now, if you say, I still want to have a section title with the overview map, you still can, of course. I put my cursor in my map title. I go to section, and there I have the second option, section title with overview map. If I click on this option, then you probably recognize the typical structure of a section with the section title, the overview map, and then the typical topic C page table. So from now on, you have two options. Either you just add a section title, a chapter title, part title, or you add a section title, chapter, part title with the typical overview map. So this is new in our FS Pro software. So from now on, we believe that there won't be any confusion anymore on how to create a section or chapter or part. Now, as you can see, we also added the H1, H2, H3 because people are very used to use these headings from MS Word. So that makes it easy to recognize or to remember the hierarchy in our information mapping methodology. The biggest information unit is a publication, of course, and then comes a part, then a chapter, then sections, then map, and then block. Now, let's say I have just added a section title, and at the end of my document, I decide I do want to have an overview map where I have this typical topic C page table. Now you still can. I don't have to delete this section title and create a new overview map. I just put my cursor in my section title. Doesn't matter where, just in the section title. I go to map, and there I can choose the function overview map. If I click, then you can see that my overview map got easily and quickly added to my section title. Okay, so this is new in FS Pro, and we believe it will be much more intuitive to create large documents with different levels. Now, I just said we have a map, we have a section. I'm just going to quickly close this document. And we move on with the most basic functions of FS Pro, adding a map, adding a block. I'm just gonna, I see, I'm just gonna quickly interrupt. Yeah. So Glenn, thank you for your question. You don't hear anything. We will send the recording of this webinar afterwards. Don't worry, don't have to miss anything. Thank you for your question. I'm going to close this Word file too. I'm going to start right from the beginning. Sorry for this inconvenience. So, map block. As you remember from the previous version, we had also the option to add an oversized table. Imagine you have a very large image, a very large flow chart, etc., and you don't have enough space to add it over here. You needed to add an oversized table in order to insert your image. Now, from now on, you can just say, I'm going to block and then new oversized block. If I do this, as you can see, this is my space for my block label. This is where I add text. And here I just can add a very large picture, for example, a flow chart, whatever. So this is also something new, the oversized block. Now, reusable units, very important. Reusable units, we've experienced that for some customers, it was very confusing to know which kind of information unit they were saving as reusable unit. Is it the section that I'm saving? Is it the chapter? Is it a part? They were very confused. So we simplified this. Reusable units, either you can save it, stage 1, or stage 2, you retrieve it and save it. You can save it in the FS Pro ribbon, of course. You can save it locally on your desktop, on the internal server, wherever, or in MS SharePoint if you have the FS Pro business license. So if you have the FS Pro basic license, you don't have this option. If you have the business license as I have, you can directly save and retrieve units in and from MS SharePoint. Now, I already saved some, I know from the past, I already saved some reusable units in my ribbon. I'm going to retrieve a reusable unit to integrate it in this document. So I'm going to retrieve from the ribbon. I'd like you to show how this works from now on, because this window is pretty new. And I'm sure you're gonna like it, because from now on, there's only one window where all my reusable chapters are, where all my reusable sections are, my maps, and my reusable blocks. And the cool thing is, for example, I'm gonna retrieve a reusable map. I can insert multiple maps at once. So for example, let's say I wanna integrate this reusable map FS Pro 2020, but also this reusable map information mapping. And yeah, I'm going to leave it to those two. I'm going to add them in my list. And I want to start with the inserting the reusable map information mapping. So I can just click on the arrow over here, and then this is the order where my reusable maps will be inserted in my documents. So I'm going to start with information mapping and then the reusable map FS Pro 2020. Now, if I click OK, my two maps that I just added in my list will be inserted simultaneously. And so this is also very new for this version. You no longer need to insert map per map or block per block. You can insert multiple information units at once, as you can see. I have my map information mapping, and then I have my map FS Pro 2020. Very, very convenient. So from now on, it will be easier and a lot quicker to build a document, to create a document through the reusable units. Now I'm going to show to you again, for example, for blocks. I put my cursor over here. I'm going back to retrieve from the FS Pro ribbon. Blocks, I want to add the IAM principles, introduction, online publication, and the FS Pro business license. Add, so I check all 4 blocks. I add them in my list. And then I say, okay, introduction, I'm not going to integrate this in my documents. I'm going to remove it from my list. And I want to start with the FS Pro business license. I'm going to move this block up. And then I want to have the principles as a third block to be inserted. So I'm going to move it down. And then I click OK. And then my 3 blocks will be inserted at once. And there we have it. So as you can see, the block, the FS Pro business license, then my online publication, and then the principles. So reusable units never been easier, or it has never been easier to use this feature. You no longer need to decide whether you have to, whether you're going to save a section or a part. Just save it, and then you can easily retrieve it, and even multiple maps sections if you want at once. Then the continue function, still the same, continue page, remove the continue page, or remove all continued pages. If I put my cursor over here, I'm going to continue my page, so that stays the same. You already know that. So don't forget, at each page there needs to be a map title. So this is why we use the continued on next page function. Now the information types, of course, are also are still integrated in the ribbon. Very important, the information mapping types. They're not as visible as before, but we've grouped them into this one button over here, information types, process. For example, the stage description table, just gonna add it. And as you will see, the rows of my stage description table are automatically numbered already. So the first row, or the rows that are integrated by default are already numbered. So that's the same thing for a step action table. If I go to the procedure step action table, you will see that the rows of this table are also automatically numbered. Then the inserting group, of course, as you know from Word, you don't need to switch tabs to insert a picture or a table. So we still have this group in our ribbon. Insert a picture, insert a table. And as we have in documents, we have standard templates, we have custom templates. We decided to give the option standard tables and custom tables. Now, how do you get a list of custom tables? Well, you create new tables through the table manager. Now, table manager, we simplified also a little bit this window. You start from an existing table, let's say the step action table, a standard table, but we want to make it a step action, or maybe I'm going to start from the stage description table. We want to have the stage who description table. I already have the stage who does what table. I'm going to create a new table, the stage who description table. Now I'm going to change, of course, the number of columns from 2 to 3. As you can see, the column has been added. You can see this in the preview. This table header, I'm going to change this into who. And the third column is going to be called description. And that is also visible in the preview. Now, this is a table that I'm going to use not only a lot in this document, but I know for sure that this is a table that I'm going to use a lot in other documents too. So I'm going to save it in my ribbon so I can easily reuse it over and over again. So I'm going to save this table as a custom table. So this option, save as, gives me the possibility to save this table, stage who description table. Click OK, and as you can see, we have standard tables. We also have custom tables. I already have 3 now in my list. The stage who description table has been added. So I can insert it immediately, or I can decide to, for example, add it over here, go to table, and then in my list custom tables, I can also easily retrieve it. So it's the same principle as for templates. Either you immediately insert your templates or you go through custom templates. Same thing for custom tables. Of course, stage who, I don't know what happened, but this is how I can easily insert the custom table. Gives an error, I don't know why. Custom tables. As you can see, I can also add an oversized table. I can insert subheaders. So the functions, the basic functions of my tables are still there. Number rows, delete table. So that has stayed the same thing. Table of contents. Of course, we still integrated this in our FS Pro ribbon. Table of contents, I think in the previous version, these options were available through access tables. So access tables wasn't really a name that rang a bell. So table of contents, insert a classical table of contents, still possible. Of course, you can decide on which page you want to start your table of contents. Add a publication title or include the block labels. And of course, the insert topics page table and the updates topics page table are still there too. Insert topics page, or I don't have a topics page table right now, but I can update it through the table of contents. Now, the formatting group has not changed a lot. As you can see, we still have bold, italic, underline. We have alignment, indent. Title numbering is still there. So I can apply title numbering to, of course, depending on the types or the number of levels I have in my documents, I can decide to apply title numbering to my maps, to my blocks. If I would have had a section in my title or multiple sections in my title, there would also be section titles in this list. And I can say, okay, number my maps through numbers or by letter lowercase, Roman lowercase. So for example, Roman, I'm gonna title my maps. I click OK, and as you can see, map title has the number or the letter 1, information mapping 2, and of course FS Pro has number 3. So title numbering, you can choose which type you want and on which level you want to number. Now, the style manager is something I really like to talk about to you because we've noticed that in the past, it wasn't very easy to, for example, modify your color of block lines. It was a little bit hidden. Block lines was a tricky one. Change the type of bullets or the number of bullets, the color of the bullets was also very tricky to change. It was tricky to change, for example, the shading of your table, so the shading of table header cells, of the content cells. So all those things were a little bit tricky to change. So we really simplified also the style manager. We did a lot of efforts to make it much more intuitive. And so, for example, if I take this style set FS Pro, I can rename it from now on, rename. So I'm going to edit. So this is how the window looks like from now on. So all headings are integrated in this line over here, publication title, part title, etc. Everything that has to do with the block text, so block text, no text, hyperlink, normal, etc. Everything that has to do with table has been grouped in this one feature over here, table. So in the past, you had to change the table header text over here, and then the shading of the table needed to be edited in at the bottom of this window. So very confusing. Bulleted lists. So again, in the past, you had bullet text 1, bullet text 2, bullet text 3, numbered list 1, numbered list 2, numbered list 3. So all this has been grouped in this two very easy to use windows, or very easy to modify windows: bulleted list, numbered list, block line, never been easier to change. And not to be confused with the continued on next page. So even the notion can be changed, the formatting of the notion can be changed, and then header and footer. Now, if I go from the top, for example, if I want to change my map title, whereas in the past you had two tabs, I believe the first tab was called text or font or something like that, and the second tab was borders. This tab borders had nothing to do, of course, with map title. So we simplified the window, and as you can see, you can easily say I'm going to change the font size of my map title, bold, italic, underline, the color. So if I change it into blue, for example, the alignment can be changed, the indent can be changed. For example, I'm going to just say indent on 0 centimeters. You can set it at inches, at points. I click OK. So as you can see, this has already changed a little bit. Block labels, I'm going to change them too into blue. Tuck, OK. The continued on next page notion. It has been put at 8 points. I want to have it smaller so it's not that visible anymore. 6 points. I click OK. What else I'm going to change? The table header. So as you can see, we have 3 tabs from now on: text, everything that has to do with table header text, table subheader text, and table text, of course. Shading is our second tab, and then borders. So everything has been unified, or everything has been collected in this one, or grouped in this one window. So for example, the text, I want to change the table header text. I'm going to change it also in this clear blue. Table subheader. The shading of my tables, header cells, I'm gonna put this into green. And subheader cells, no, I'm not going to change this. Content cells, I'm going to change this into this yellow. And then the borders, I'm going to make them a little bit smaller, very small borders. So as you can see, it's very easy to change all these settings for table at once. So no longer need to go up and then go down in the style manager or in your style set. So everything has been grouped in this one window. So I am satisfied about table, formatting my table. Bulleted lists, never been easier. We have grouped them, as you can see, in these 3 tabs: bullet text 1, bullet text 2, bullet text 3. I can easily change the font for my bullet text. So I'm going to put this a little bit bigger. And as you can see, the bullets, so this has everything to do with text. The bullets can be changed over here at the bottom. So I can easily change the symbol itself. I'm going to use this heart. And the color, even very easy. I'm gonna put this into this red. I click OK. I can do the same thing for bullet text 2, for bullet text 3. Numbered list is the same principle. So everything that has to do with the font from my numbered list can be changed over here. And then the numbers themselves can be easily changed over here. The style, so I'm not going to use Roman, I'm going to use ABC. I'm going to add this bracket. So it needs to be formatted like this. And then the color, I'm going to also put it into red. I click OK, so that's good too. And then finally, I'm going to change the color of my block line. So very easy again. I can change the style to solid, for example. I'm going to choose again the blue that I chose for my map titles. The width, I'm going to make them very large so you can easily see the difference. And then indent spacing can be changed too. So I made all the changes that I wanted. I close this window. I'm going to apply the style set. So you saw that was very easy. You no longer need to uh, go looking for minutes and minutes in the style manager to change the formatting of your document. So as you can see, map titles color have been made into blue. The block lines have been changed as I wanted. The shading of my tables, very important. As you can see, the shading of my header cells are now in this light green, and for my content cells in the yellow that I wanted. The bullets, as you can see, the little hearts are there. The indent has been taken care of as I wanted. The bullet text itself has changed. It has been made bigger into 13 points, remember. The continued on next page, the notion itself has been changed as I wanted on 6 points. So it's never been easier to change the formatting of your styles in FS Pro for words. So the style manager, very intuitive from now on, okay? And then last but not least, the advanced group. As I said in the beginning, this has not really changed in comparison with the previous version. But to give you a small refresher, custom fields, a very important one. How do you create a custom field? How do you update it? Well, of course, if I want to create one, let's say I'm going to create a custom field in my map title. I just click on custom fields, create. First stage, of course, very logical. These are the custom fields from MS Word. This is the one that I already created for this document. I'm going to create another one. I have name client over here. I'm going to create a new custom field, name company. Remember, no spacing, very important. So everything needs to be written in one word. I click OK. As you can see, my custom field has been added in my list. I'm going to insert it. It has been inserted over here. For example, I'm going to insert it in this block. I select my custom fields, I insert it. So we have it twice now over here in my map title. If I want to update my custom field, very easy. So I just select update, name company, AppV, for example. Okay. And then as you can see, it has been changed over here and of course over here. Remember, you can also insert a custom or use this feature to add a custom field in your header, in your footer, so that's no problem. Custom fields. Share custom items has not been changed. The application settings, so you can still change the language of your FS Pro ribbon. You can access the FS Pro console through the application settings. The update settings can be changed, that has not changed, but still you can do this over here. So quick refresher, check for updates automatically every 2 weeks, every day, every week, every time FS Pro starts. So those are all settings that you can change. And then, of course, the Sharepoint account settings can be changed or can be set over here if you have if you have the FS Pro business license. So if you have the FS Pro basic license, you don't have this possibility, you don't have this option. And then, of course, the FS Pro tutorials, we're currently working on updating those tutorials. So everything, if you hesitate, how do I need to save or retrieve a reusable unit? Well, can be found in the new FS Pro tutorials. So that is upcoming. And so if I go back to application settings, we're currently at version 6.2.2. Okay. And then the publishing feature to end this bootcamp session has not been changed. So if I save my document, and of course, I make sure there are no errors in my documents in my outline pane. So I'm going to save this document. I'm going to save it on my desktop, for example, map title app feed. publishing, so it has not changed. I can still give it a name. Standard publishing layout. If you have the FS Pro Basic license, if you have the business license, you can also create premium publications. I still can password protect my publication and then just click on the publishing button and my Word documents gets converted into an online publication. So that has not changed. So we're at the end of this bootcamp session. Remember, I like to remember you that we're not only providing software, this FS Pro software for Word software, we also provide training. If you say, I want to be, or my team needs to be skilled more in this FS Pro for Word software, but also in the information mapping methodology, don't hesitate to contact us for training options. We have 4 of them currently. We have the in-person training, we have the live virtual training, we have the e-learning, of course, and the new in our range is the blended learning. Blended learning is a combination of self-paced videos in combination with interactive workshops with the IM instructor. So training options, and of course we also provide services. If you need a content audit, we can provide this content architecture for your documentation. We can provide this content development. So we have a lot of services. We have a pool of information mapping consultants, so don't hesitate if you need services. So thank you for attending this FS Pro for Word Bootcamp session. If you have questions about what you saw today, if you have questions about the training options, the services, please contact us at info@informationmapping.com. The recording of this webinar will be sent to you afterwards. You can also visit us, of course, at our website, www.informationmapping.com. There are a lot of articles that may help you if you have questions about the software, about upgrading to this new version, about the FS Pro console, etc. We have a page called support and FAQ, so a lot of questions, a lot of answers to FAQs can be found over there. And please follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. Again, thank you for attending. Please stay safe and well, and hopefully we keep in touch. Thank you. Bye-bye.